It's LA's 97.1 Amp Radio. It's McCabe, and today joined by DJ producer from Southeast London, TroyBoi.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Great. Absolutely buzzing.
What kind of shows were you going to growing up? Were you going to, like, was it house shows? Was it rock shows?
It was a mixture of a few things, but I mean, the electronic music scene in London was booming, and it still is booming. I used to go to like Ministry of Sound quite a lot, see all the DJs coming through there. And then, of course, on top of that, I used to listen to like garage, which is a very UK thing, grime, very underground sound. But then again, mixed with so many other music genres, pop music, R&B, hip hop, which was all coming out of UK too. So, yeah.
So at what point did you start producing music and you're like, okay, this is what I want to do?
So I just knew the moment I made my first beat, like when I was 14. So I remember coming into school at the time. It was a music technology class, and at the time it was just introduced, and I was like, what is this? So I saw one of my friends. He was actually an older student, like just in front of the keyboard and a computer, and I was like, what is this? Like, computer and a keyboard? Like, and so he started playing in his drum pattern, then played in his piano, and then he just played back everything he'd done. And for me, it just clicked. I was like, this is exactly like what I want to do. And I think I had so many ideas bottled up before that. When I saw this, I was just like, this is definitely my calling for sure.
And that leads up to, I mean, go years and past, and now we have Vibes Volume 2.
Yes.
At what point after you put out the Vibes EP did you want to continue and have a Vibes Volume 2?
Well, I already knew, like, from making Volume 1 that it was going to be like a continued series of, you know, volumes. So for me, Vibes is always a thing of I wanted to just create just anything. You know, Vibes is just whatever I'm feeling at the time, just put it in an EP. So, for example, with this EP, Vibes Volume 2, I think I spent quite a bit of time, like, in the West Coast. So it has that kind of, like, West Coast vibe to it, you know, or like at least 2-3 songs of it does. So Vibes Volume 3, depending on the mood, where I'm at, is going to dictate what kind of music is going to come out of it.
So we can expect a Volume 3 at some point as well.
For sure. This is going to be going on. Like, this is like my personal like art project for me to express my music and just for everyone else to enjoy it.
How do you go into a project and create your Vibes project? I mean, are you with friends? Are you at a certain venue? Are you at the beach and just kind of things come to you?
Absolutely. It depends on where I'm at, the mood I'm in. For example, like with Vibes Volume 1, I'll talk about that. I was in the first track on that's called Sunset in Costa Rica. So literally, I was in Costa Rica watching the most incredible like sunset on a beautiful balcony, and I just made an audio painting of what I could see, basically. So whatever I was feeling, I constructed it into that music. What I could see, I put it into a track. So, yeah, same thing.
Well, and now we have Say Yeah.
Say Yeah.
And it kind of has this, I love it, it has this like dramatic sort of like build into it, and then just leads into like good vibes. Where were you when you were writing this song, and what's it about? So
Say Yeah is definitely a feel-good song. I think at that point in my life, I was like, I'd say, taking care of my family, living life to the max, you know, taking care of your friends as well, and feeling good about yourself. And that's the moral and that is the message in that song. So that's how I was feeling at the time. I was making like a crazy kind of dirty beat, and I thought, you know what, like this really kind of feels right. I know, so I did the vocals. That's how I was feeling, and Say Yeah's come about.
It's an awesome record, and your fans, I've been seeing like on Twitter and Instagram, they've been a lot of positive reaction.
Absolutely, it's crazy. I'm loving it.
It's crazy. I mean, but you create the vibes, which is awesome.
And I hope for me that I create these vibes, you know, just for other people too. You know, it's something that is for me, but to have it connect with other people, that's always like the biggest plus for me.
You made it a point that the first time you were going to go to Coachella was when you were going to perform and also go, and you did that currently this year.
Yes.
The vibes there are awesome.
Big time.
What can you tell us about your experience at Coachella?
One of the most craziest experiences of my life, for sure, especially like playing such a, you know, prestigious like festival, and just, you know, to play prime time was like, for me, it was like something, you know, I was very anxious about. I was like, right, I can't mess this up. This is my time to sort of shine. But I mean, to get up on that stage and hitting play on the first track in front of such a crowd was like, it gives me goosebumps, like still thinking about it. But literally it was like one of the best, you know, times of my life for sure.
Will you go back as a fan and just go and experience it?
100%, 100%. I put myself off for that silly reason, you know, just to play. But obviously going there for the first time, seeing how well it was like taken care of, how well I was taken care of, you know, the lineups. It's such a good festival, so I definitely will go back again.
I did want to point out the tattoos that you have. What's like the latest tattoo that you've gotten?
The latest is my stomach. Well, that was quite a while ago.
What's on the stomach?
I have Buddha on my stomach. Like that.
But now, what is the story behind getting the Buddha?
Well, I mean, I'm very fascinated with, like, you know, different cultures, religions, and things like that. But I have multiple kind of religious figures on me. Like I have Catholic, Buddhism, Hinduism, everything. But how I see it is I like to be the beacon of, I'd say, the good out of all of them, you know? So regardless of your religion, your race, culture, whatever, as long as you're doing good, you know, it's just sending a good positive message. That's what I stand for. So that's the kind of purpose of the multiple religious tattoos.
And you also have some Michael Jackson?
I do indeed, right here. Right there.
Right on the arm. So, I mean, obviously a huge influence for many artists.
Yeah.
You know, what kind of got you into him? What was the first initiative?
So, I remember seeing the Motown 25 performance when he did Billie Jean. I think that was, for me, like the biggest, like, oh my God. Like, wow. Like, it's literally watching magic on stage. The vocal performance, the dancing, the outfit, everything was just like insane. But just Michael Jackson as an artist, I mean, he conquered multiple different genres of music. He was a producer, singer, writer, philanthropist, everything. Like, you know, he's a, you know, great example of what I'd say a great musician and an artist should be. Like, you know, he's made record-breaking albums, record-breaking tours, and did it with a big smile on his face and did it with all peace and love, you know? So I think that's just a great example.
I mean, do you see yourself walking in that path as well as you continue as an artist?
I try to, absolutely. I mean, I just like to do what I do. Like, this music is art for me, you know? So I'm happy that people like my art because it's personal to me. You know, I try to be good and be good to everybody, you know, and just send off a positive message all the time. So I think there's definitely a lot of negativity which comes with certain music and things like that.
Right.
But yeah, just send off positive message and do good.
Well, I think you're setting that up with Vibes Volume 2. So we have the holidays coming up. Go home, spend time with family.
Absolutely.
And
needs to be done.
Needs to be done. Gotta
Family
get
time
that
is
in.
so important.
And then for 2019, what do we have lined up?
2019, more shows, more music. There's a lot. I don't like to kind of say too much because
You gotta live in the moment. Let it go.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Do you
for
know what I
sure.
mean? Because also, like, I mean, you never know what could happen, like, around the corner, you know? So, yeah. But there's a lot of good things in the works.
Well, we appreciate you stopping by today. I know you're a busy man. Vibes Volume 2 is out, and Serayah is the single.
Absolutely.
TroyBoi, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
stopping
so
by.
much, man.
97.1 Amp Radio. Appreciate it.
Thank you.